Alright. Guess we'll just hop right into Group C again. If you're watching this this stream, remember that if you would also like to commentate, help cast the games, you can join the Game 1 voice channel on the RSL Discord, and if you want to just watch the replay for yourself, it's open on the US West server. The game name is RSL Cast, and the password is 123. But otherwise, we're just going to go ahead and hop right into Group C. Start the group. Our first game will be CoNiCo in the top right corner, playing the light pink Protoss. His opponent will be the black Zerg, CoNiCo. CoNiCo. Not sure how you pronounce it. So this group, it is something. Hopefully BWCL will be done before our tiebreakers. Lol. I think so. There's a couple pretty long games in this, so I believe in. Just swag, just cannon rush every game, or 2-gate in the middle of the map every game. I believe in your ability to do so. For good reason. And speed up the game a little bit as we get started. We do have some non-standard play since Swag decided to build his. I'll try to join and help with casting when kids take the map. Okay, no problem. That would be great. But obviously, you know, can't cast well, like if kids are running around and whatnot. So, yeah, you know, let's just go ahead and slow this down. Swagpoudine, this is very clearly not standard. He's gone for a 10-12 gate. And CoNiCo is going to be none the wiser as his Overlord is scouting the wrong direction. However, the drone will find it before the first Zealot comes out. And going hatchery, the hatchery will be very, very exposed. Apparently. Hatch first is favored against this build because you get access to 6 larvae when your pull finishes instead of having only 3 before Zealots walk over across the map. But yeah, now Swag he's getting his gateways up, and soon there's going to be some Zealots wide man walking across the map. CoNiCo scouted it, so he does know what's coming, but it is going to really just come down to execution of his Zergling micro. The probe is, Swag's probe is doing amazingly here. It's dodging the Zerglings, however it should get caught. Almost gets caught, but it kind of scooches out of the way and snooches back home as 3 Zealots begin their walk across the map. We're just gonna believe in the blind when we were casting last week made the comment that Zealots kind of walk like concerned fathers who like aren't going to run after their kid, but are going to walk steadily at them, and that is definitely the mood that this game is giving off, with these 3 very concerned dads coming over to I guess actually just murder a bunch of small children who were just born. So really nice engagement here for the Zealots. The damage was split very evenly, and the Zealot still survives. They run right into the main, and the Zerglings are being made, but really it's just a matter of are they going to be able to stop this? The wounded Zealot wedges himself up against the Sunken so that the other 2 can take a lot of the main Zergling damage. The creep colony is made, but now there's 2 more Zealots killing the new hatchery, and yeah, this colony dies before it's able to get morphed into a Sunken. The Zealots in the main will die, but there's now 2 in the main, 1 more coming, 2 more behind that, as Swag is also just getting an expansion behind this. This is very much looking like a very early win for Swagpoudine. don't know if I'm saying the Poudine part right. I'm just gonna call him Swag, because that is what these zealots are doing, walking across the map like this. CoNiCo is setting up a sunken colony, really trying to get up there. With this Zergling buffer, he should be able to get it, but it's really hard to tell. Yeah, the Zerglings are trying to be safe and run around the zealots, but some miss micro gets a lot of them to like just die for free. So the sunken does finally come up, but he sacrificed almost all of his drones, all of his Zerglings. Now the zealots are just literally just running after drones. CoNiCo has only one left. Now the sunken is going to fall, the Zerglings are going to die, and the final drone is going to fall as well. So it looks like Swag, even his last 4 Zerglings, and CoNiCo, GG's, leaves the game. And that's it for Game 1. Swag is just killing it. That 10-12 gate is very scary. Swag has gone up 1-0 in the group. Unfortunately, we're going to take a quick break from Swag's absolute dominance that was that PVZ and just hop right into our next game, which is going to be CoNiCo versus Hangs. Because it's ZVZ, it obviously is something is going to be wild here. And unlike the last map, which was on Polypoid, this one is going to be CoNiCo in the top right of Eclipse, playing the sort of tannish white Zerg on the metalish side of Eclipse. And then in the bottom left, we're going to have Hangs playing the yellow Zerg Brood on the bottom left of Eclipse. I want to watch out to see if there are any variations in the build orders, or if this is just going to come down straight to execution. But it's looking like both players are going to play fairly similarly. Let's speed up for the first couple minutes. CoNiCo goes for a much faster spawning pool, while Swag goes for an Overlord. Looks like they're going to maybe go for a 12 hatch or 12 pool, while CoNiCo's going for a much faster Zergling attack. Oh, and there it is. The hatch in main with the spawning pool in main. Oh. We've seen this before, where the main, like the hatchery isn't built at the natural, it's built at the main, which I guess actually works in Hangs' favor in this situation, because the Zerglings won't have an easy target out in the middle of the map. Have our pair of Overlords make their way across the map. And yeah, Hangs sees the Zerglings coming and says, you know what, I'll just get a sunken colony. And that's a pretty good bet. Looks like he is still gonna... Okay, he's gonna go block the ramp to buy time for the sunken colony to finish making. Yeah, it definitely seems like CoNiCo parks the Zerglings here and goes, wait a minute, there's supposed to be a hatchery there. But with the sunken finishing, this is some pretty good SimCity. The Zerglings are going to pop out and make it really hard for CoNiCo to attack in. However, CoNiCo has started getting his second hatchery at his expansion position. So while he sacrificed a lot of economy early game to try and get the faster Zergling pressure and whatnot, he will have his second base at the mineral and that second gas, more importantly. We can see the layer morphing, so he's preparing for the muta switch, while Hangs is just making a lot of Zerglings and saying, you know, I'm just going to counter pressure you. You thought you were rushing me, I'm going to rush you. He's just making a lot of Zerglings. CoNiCo a single Zergling, who's braver than the rest, yells, "Witness me," as he runs headlong into an entire Zergling army, and a really terrible engagement here for CoNiCo, as Hangs is just going to be able to run right up into the main. And I mean, you hate to see it, but sometimes ZVZ just ends like this. You have just an absolutely terrible encounter. Now the spawning pool is going to get completely destroyed. He's not even going to be able to go try and save it, because to send all his Zerglings down to try and save his drones, who have decided that their purpose in life is to kill, as they begin running across the map. CoNiCo is trying to wrangle his units as best he can, but they secretly want to be Zerglings, and they try to run across the map. They return to mining, but the damage has been done. CoNiCo is now down 4 drones, and his mineral resources are looking pretty low. There's no Spire on the way, so oh no. And Hangs' Zerglings, they scare CoNiCo up into the main, and they come in and start killing all the drones at the natural. CoNiCo leaves the game again. GG's. And Hangs takes the game as well. So now we have both Hangs and Swag up 1 game. And then it's me. So game 3 of round C, it is CoNiCo versus Simo, me, your host / caster for the day. Okay, turn replay off, turn off unit panel. Okay. And we're gonna see how that game goes. God, that split wasn't great. But in the top right corner of Eclipse is the teal Protoss hero, not just the hero unit, but the hero player, Simo, with the CPL Rats tag. And his opponent, in the bottom left corner, is CoNiCo, playing as the Black Zerg, trying to just make a comeback. You know, it's always, they're down 2 games, so I believe their chance of making it out of the into the next round of the RSL, I don't think that's possible, but you never want to go out on 0-3. So it's sort of a pride thing on the line here with CoNiCo. While our narrative has said that they have gone 0-2, they definitely don't want to go out 0-3. So 1-2 feels a lot more respectable. So that's what the fight is. And our first game for Simo here, I just don't want to die. Let's see. We go Gateway first because I've been really enjoying that. Even though it's riskier, it feels really powerful to have a lot of Zealots really early in the game. You can really throw the pressure on the opponent if they don't respect just the sheer, insane amounts of Zealots that can come out when you go Gateway first. So we go to Gateway, we then go to Scout. CoNiCo goes for, it looks like the similar early spawning pool build. And then they go to make their, actually no, they don't go to make their 3rd base. They send a drone out to Scout, and they hide a drone in the corner here, probably to eventually come out and make the base later. So the drone starts heading across the map, but then says, you know what, I'm just going to go and make a base, probably, right? That's the direction that we go to make a base? Yeah. Oh, no, I think he might be looking for proxies. So the drone was sent there because the probe might sneak around the back and build a pylon there. Okay, that makes sense. So weird casting your own game, right? It's a little weird. I don't know if I should be saying I or just going full going full 3rd person and saying Simo. So I'm also trying to remember what exactly I was doing in this game. we were complaining a lot about in the last cast, where a lot of the players, their style just ended up being, hey, what if I just didn't attack in ever and just tried to control the map for as long as possible? And that kind of is my entire play style in these matchups. So this game might not be too interesting to watch, but we'll see. I might have done something sneaky. I mean, I'm still also getting used to Gateway Expand because I'm really confused about the exact timings of like the Assimilator and Cybernetics core. As you can see, I think you're never supposed to stop Zealot production. You can see I'm not building any Zealots here as I'm getting the rest of my infrastructure up. Also because I'm supply blocked, so, you know, it happens. Meanwhile, CoNiCo is going up to 3 bases, so I don't think it's too far, too out of line to expect a Hydralisk Den and some sort of bust to start coming pretty soon. Meanwhile, I'm getting my Cyber Core up. We've started gas mining, looking good. I try to get a probe in the Scout because that's what you're supposed to do as Protoss, and it immediately gets killed by Zerglings, which is what I actually do as Protoss. Zerglings began running across the map to start providing the usual Zergling pressure. However, we have our beefy Zealot man wall here to prevent the Zerglings from getting in. So CoNiCo is probably just going to scout, see the wall, and run back. Ooh, no, he's going to try to dive in, get as much time as possible. He picks off a Zealot. Oh man, for only 1 Zergling, that's a great deal. He's going to start pressuring the gateway, which means I'm going to have Simo here. I am going to have to try and break my wall to try and defend the gateway. And because I don't have a photon cannon up, every time I break the wall, there's a chance that 50 million Zerglings flood past the pylons into my main. It's a very delicate dance. At the same time, I'm getting up a Stargate, as is standard, and we see CoNiCo back at home. He's researching Zergling speed, which is just now finished, and the Hydra Den has just started in the natural. He hasn't really been making too many Zerglings. He's been pretty hard macroing up and getting his base in order. And so, yeah. He has a good number of Zerglings. A scary number of Zerglings. You know? Every number of Zerglings is scary, but with 2 cannons, it's slightly less so. Yep, he's going to try to dive in, but now that the cannons are up, the Zerglings can't really get much done. And every dive is more of just like a donation to the cannons. So thank you, cannons. We throw up the 3rd cannon because I am expecting the Hydra bust at this point. And because I don't like Lings. Zerglings are very scary, and we have our Corsair now running around doing Corsair things, such as killing Overlords. He probably should have just run across the map to start scouting, but you know what? Killing Overlords is a great use of time. And in this case, it is actually doubly so because CoNiCo was supply blocked for just a moment, but some Overlords popped. They are no longer supply blocked, and they are getting their Hydralisks made. So the bust possibilities are still online. Yeah, so the Corsair flies over, sees that there are now Hydralisks, and kind of just is doing his own thing, and is going to run around. CoNiCo is going to continue making Hydralisks, and yeah. I up my gateway count as the Citadel is finishing, so that as I'm getting the Templar Archives, I will be able to start making a few High Templar. This Corsair is Bobby. God dang it, Bobby. Thank you, Escalade, for this gift of the named hero Corsair, Bobby. Oh, he joins up with the 2nd Corsair. However, we kind of we're going to still continue Corsair production just because it seems really powerful to me, being able to harass Overlords if the Zerg isn't careful with them. However, with the Hydralisk force coming out, Corsairs aren't going to do a lot to help defend from that. However, the Templar Archives is almost done, CoNiCo is just now finishing his lair, so Lurker aspect might be a little late. Let's see what the Hydralisk force is. We have a couple roaming on the map. Scare the Corsairs away from picking off the Overlord. Oh yeah. And then I was like, you know, I have a lot of Zealots. What if I just went and killed these Zerglings? So I did. Ooh. Corsairs find one lone Overlord. Bobby's taking a lot of hull damage though. But he's helping kill Overlords, helping scout. And we are continually adding Corsairs to our production. We are now, with the Templar Archives fully on the way, Storm is on the way. I have 2 Dark Templar coming out because I like Dark Templar. They're great for scouting, they're great for keeping Zerg honest and having to bring their Overlords out on the map where the Corsairs can get them. And of course we have the High Templar. So we're going to see how CoNiCo is going to run this. He's kept a lot of his Hydralisks at home, presumably because he wants to keep his Overlords safe from the Corsairs. But these Overlords, there are still a bunch out on the map that are very vulnerable to this roaming band of Sairness. 3 Hydralisks at the 3rd base is a pretty smart move because it will prevent like just a single probe running up there and taking a free expansion. And then DTs, I just send them out on the map. These are mostly for spotting stuff and to go, hey, are there bases like hidden around the map? One goes down, one goes around. So Hydralisk force, again, a lot of the timing of the Zerg bust has been really far delayed because CoNiCo has been played very defensively to try and keep his Overlords from getting picked off by the Corsairs. So that has really sort of given me, enough time to get the High Templar out and operational. Need to watch Bobby, make sure he doesn't die. Alright, we're safe. But with being able to move Zealots out on the map, especially Zealots with +1 in speed, you're going to need Lurkers to fight that. Like, Hydras alone will easily get taken care of. Bobby likes living dangerously, what can I say? Sometimes you just have to run over a pack of Hydralisks. No, that one wasn't Bobby. We're all good. Zerg needs more drones. Yeah, Zerg is sitting at 24 drones, while our Protoss hero is sitting at 44, so it is definitely, every second that the Zerg isn't trying to bust the Protoss's base, the economy is just tipping really hard in the favor. So there's a bit of an execution error here from CoNiCo. Meanwhile, Protoss is just adding on more gateways. We'll finally see the Lurker aspect finished for CoNiCo, so we should see some Lurkers morphing here for the big Lurker push. However, Observers are already out, and Dragoon range is currently mid-upgrade, so it is essentially Protoss is getting into a really good position, while Zerg is not really pressuring enough to get Protoss into a bad position. However, that is a lot of Hydralisks, and the Protoss army supply is mostly Zealots right now. Zealots and a bunch of Corsairs, which do not help against Hydralisks. And an observer bravely flies into the Hydralisk field and just face first into an absolute something of Hydralisks. We'll think of a term for a group of Hydralisks later. Some transferring Overlords get picked off by the Corsairs, which are still alive. So, I would say. And now the Zerg is trying to make the thing. It catches a lot of Zealots out on the map because a lot of them were sent to help clear the 3rd base. So a lot of the Zealots got traded in for almost free towards the Hydralisks. And now there's an opportunity here for this push where there's a lot of High Templar here with Storm, but there's a lot of Hydralisks. Unfortunately, the Storm does go down on the Lurker, so the immediate dangers of the gateway is kind of gone. And And now CoNiCo just needs to is morphing more lurkers, but the health of their army beyond this, there isn't a lot of reinforcements coming up. So the Dragoons kill the gateway themselves to open up the pathway for the Protoss to actually get outside of their base. And the third base is pretty much completely uncontested now that there are going to be cannons up on the high ground. So yeah, CoNiCo is trying to get a lurker contain set up, but again, it's just a little bit too late into the game. I mean, Observers and Storm are still in play. There are still Corsairs, a handful of Corsairs roaming about the map. Observers are just wandering everywhere. The DTs are still doing really good jobs of making sure that CoNiCo can't expand behind this. And so, yeah, we'll see a small push out here, just trying to break the lurkers. Zealots do quite a lot of damage, but they also take a lot of damage. A huge storm on the Hydras and on the morphing and more lurker eggs. One more storm, and the lurkers phase out of existence before they're able to actually hatch. Which is always just, it's really weird to see. It sometimes happens with Zerg eggs and like Ultralisks. It's just weird to see like the Ultralisk hatch animation, but then it technically dies before it finishes. And they just kind of phase out of existence. And so now, with that contain almost completely broken, the Protoss player is able to just get out onto the map. You see, it's a pretty fragile force of Dragoons and High Templar, but the Zerg, like, that was a huge Zerg army that got absolutely destroyed by a couple of really well-placed storms. I feel like I should stop, like, when I'm talking about my own games, I should probably not use words like some well-placed storms, because it feels like really arrogant. But I'm gonna keep talking as the Protoss player keeps moving across the map. Yeah, I mean, there are spotters in almost every base now, so the Protoss player pretty much has it set up so that they have so much map vision. Like, if we were to look, there's a small engagement here, however, that was Ron Jr., unfortunate. Like, if we look at the map vision for Protoss, Zerg basically, nope, that's not the right button. Zerg basically has a really hard time getting anywhere, especially since there's just observers peppered all over the map. Overlord tries to scout around, and it'll see the DT there, and some Hyralists will move to kill it, so that DT should get cleared. However, not before the Protoss player will be aware that Hyralists are moving across the map. A couple of Zerglings try to run up into here to clear out the Dark Templar in this base, or just to get set up and to ensure that the Protoss player isn't expanding down this way either, same as with the Hydralisk right there. Yep. So CoNiCo cleared that fourth base and set up some defenses, started morphing some lurker eggs. However, the Protoss player is now just moving across and saying, you know what, I'm just going to play whack-a-mole now. You're not allowed to have this base. And just sending the entire army out to help clear it. The lurkers do hatch and burrow in time to get some damage off. However, the muscle of the Protoss force. Luckily, CoNiCo got the cancel on the hatchery, so he didn't lose the full 300. But now with the fourth denied, the Protoss player simply returns to his natural resting ground of the outside the Eclipse base high ground. Yep. A small engagement occurs, and it looks like, yep, a big storm goes down, kills Ron the Third. But in the most part, it kills more Zerg than it does Protoss, and so just, again, it's just a quality, good trades all around here for the Protoss player. The probe is in position to begin taking the fourth as the macro sort of starts kicking in some more, and the Protoss player is getting very close to maxing out. The Zerg once again sends a drone out to try and establish a 4th base out on the map, but the Protoss sees it and takes the opportunity to try and kill the small Hydralisk force that was trying to keep the the drone safe. And the drone ends up running all the way towards the Protoss 4th base, which is now being established. And while the Protoss just has so much minerals and gas, they've begun upgrading ship armor, getting all the pylons they need to get to the full max supply, and are just continuously playing the defensive game of resupplying their army for the most part, and keeping the Zerg on their 3 main bases. CoNiCo started implementing some Zerglings into his army, which will be very good against the majority Dragoon. A small Hydralisk attack force is found sort of out of position and is quickly cleaned up by the mobile Protoss army. And yeah, CoNiCo at the moment is just trying, like it's the puzzle for Zerg, right? Figuring out how do you break out of this like Protoss contain. Usually the answer is probably just Lurker Hydra in some form, but you just have to control it right. And when the Protoss has a lot of High Templar Storm, it just makes it that math really difficult. Maybe like in a late game situation like this, going Defilers might work because you're able to get Plague, which will like basically ensure that the Protoss army is always at half health. Additionally, there is also the upgrades that may have to get taken into account. So Protoss is at 3 attack upgrades, while the Zerg is only at 2. They're getting their 3rd now, but just the Protoss force on Dragoons it's similar to how siege tanks just get so much extra damage from these attack upgrades. But like Dragoons get a pretty sizable amount as well, and basically every attack upgrade is almost twice as effective on a Zealot. So CoNiCo's trying maybe going Spire. Mutalisks are a really good option. However, the Protoss player has done a good job of keeping their Corsair count really healthy. So the threat of a huge Mutalisk switch is actually not too scary. As Zerg tries to establish a 4th in the very top left corner, but some Zealots, the Observer spots it and some Zealots chase it away. 2 Dragoons are almost caught out by a Hydralisk force, but the Hydralisk shuffle in a bit one at a time and get taken care of. The Zealots chase the drone all the way to the 3rd base and execute it, sacrificing their lives in the process. An Overlord tries to... Is that a drop lord? Nope, but it does get taken out as it tries to fly across the map, and the Zerg supply is slowly dwindling. It was about 70 before, but the economy just isn't able to... or the infrastructure isn't able to sustain a high level of supply for the Zerg player. A lot of Overlords try to get transferred across the map and get picked off by the Dragoons, as a massive Hydralisk and Zergling force tries to start making its way to deny the 4th base. A couple Dragoons move into position, but it doesn't look like it will be enough to fight off all these Zerglings and Hydralisks. The DT is doing work, but again, like it's sometimes the DPS of these attacking units just is too much for it. However, the Dragoons buy just enough time for the DT to deal enough damage to the Hydralisk to severely limit how much damage the Hydras can do, as some reinforcing Zealots should be able to completely clean up this Hydralisk attack. There's a small pocket of Hydralisks hidden in the trees down here. If a base that looks like it's being set up in the bottom right, they might be able to pounce on it. However, there is a Dark Templar here as well, so without an Overlord, the Hydralisk will have to very carefully target down the Nexus. Yep, and now CoNiCo has begun the Mutalisk switch, getting 5 Mutas. However, where was our Corsair army? Did they get Did they fly over a bunch of Hydras and get taken out? Nope, they retreated back to the Protoss 4th base to kill the 2 observers that were helping spot for the Hydralisks there. Now, a huge Hydralisk attack force is going to make its way over to try and deny that Protoss base. They're going to kill, probably will pick off most of these probes. However, the DT will eventually work through them, and the Protoss army is able to just take a quick detour and try to clear it out. However, the Lurker Egg on the ramp is going to leave it, so the main Protoss army won't be able to help clear the Hydralisks. However, the DT says, I'm not trapped in here with you, you're all trapped in here with me, and kills them all. Regardless, a DT swipe takes out the Lurker. And CoNiCo, GG's, the Protoss is up 2 bases, and that is the game. So unfortunately, CoNiCo does go out 0-3, but they played really well in most of their games. It just was a lot of unfortunate timings and a few missed micros here and there. And now the 3 remaining players in Group C are all up 1 game. We're going to move on to Hangs versus Swag Poudine. nOm.swagpoudine. And we're going to see how those games go. Let's see how those games go for... Oh, hey.
Hello, Simon.
Hello, hold on. Let me raise your volume up a little bit.
Hey, it says good.
Try saying something real quick.
Yeah, isn't better?
Okay, let's see. I'll probably have to lower the in-game volume for the music is much louder than you're coming in through on Discord.
No problem.
Alright. So, how have you been enjoying the game so far?
Oh, really nice tasking, by the way. Really enjoy it.
Alright.
I like the DDs are trapped with the Hydra, but the Hydra is trapped with the DDs.
Absolutely. Alright, let me see. Where's settings on this? Options. Sound. We're just going to turn that music down to that second lowest, and hopefully someone in the chat, if you aren't coming in clear enough, they can let us know and we can figure something out.
Yeah, just a setting or whatever.
Yep. Alright. So, we have... We have a bit of some banner going on. Hangs is trying to figure out why Swag hates Eclipse. I didn't know Swag hates Eclipse. That's unfortunate. Eclipse is a great map.
We have a PVZ coming.
Alright, so yeah, real quick, in the bottom right, we have our Swag Poutine as our Protoss player, and I think this is Polyploid? Yeah. And in our bottom left, we have Hangs playing the tannish, or is this the mustard color?
I don't know what this color called.
It's all different. We have Hangs playing the something tannish yellow Zerg breed.
Yellow.
Sends the Overlord in the technically correct path and in the actually correct path, so he will get the scout on Swag.
It's like going gateway first and into his main.
Oh no. I think Swag is going 10-12 gate again, which he just did to CoNiCo and pretty much ran him over with Zealots. So we're going to see if Swag is able to pull a 2P on, get back-to-back 10-12 gate wins against Zerg players. Yeah, so Hangs, his Overlord is going to see the natural and see that Swag isn't there, and the drone is going to stay out the top left and not see Swag either, so we might see if the Yeah, the Overlord, we'll see if the Overlord maybe makes it just straight up a detour to the top right, or if he's actually going to scout the main. But it looks like he is going to go straight for the main. Yeah, so Hang's going pool first is going to be a little rough against the 10-12 gate because he will only have 3 larvae to deal with the Zealots initially, as opposed to having like the full 6 ready and prepared.
Just at the gates right now, and he's sending toolings.
Okay, so we'll see what he can. Oh wait, looks like the Lings are gonna retreat back and try and maybe just be defensive. Ooh. Great catch on the probe, does a lot of damage, but unfortunately the drone mismicros just a little bit and the probe is going to get all the way in.
Yeah, John, the probe is almost dead.
Unfortunate, like 2 more hits and it would have been out, but now 3 Zealots are walking across the map, and with the probe still alive, 2 Zealot hits and a probe hit will kill a Zergling, so there might be some micro there. It looks like the fight is going to happen at the mineral only instead.
Sim City is very nice for Hang.
It is pretty good, but unfortunately it did mean that the Zerglings had to run all the way around to try and flank the Zealots. And that's a lot of damage on the creep colony, so much so that Hangs even said, you know what, I'm not even going to turn this into a sunken because I know it's going to die before it finishes.
Right decision, yeah.
So the single Zealot comes out on top of all the Zerglings that are being made, and now just as more Zealots keep flowing in, I mean, Swag is up 10 workers, and Hangs is going to have to keep sacrificing more for defenses. Now the Zealots move into the main where there isn't a sunken colony to help the Zerglings fight them. However, the sunken colony does cut off the remaining Zealot forces from being able to get in and really help finish off Hangs' army, but Swag is in a really good position now.
Yeah, Hangs only have 9 drones, so, and Swags is up to 23, and getting his Exponexes at his natural and setting up Forge and Gateway as a wall.
Yeah, it's Swag is undisputably in the lead here, so it is really you know, his game to lose.
But there's a lot of Zergling, and Forge is just up, no cannon, so
Yeah, if the Zealots run too much out of position and the Zerglings are able to surround them one at a time and pick them off, then at the very least they're going to be able to do a lot of pressure on these this Forging Gateway.
There's the round.
Start looks like
Alexander.
A lot of really damaged Zealots. The Zerglings do get in and they get the surround on the Zealots, and the probe goes down before it can start laying down cannons. So, I mean, this is a really uncomfortable situation for all the players. Probes come in to help fight, and it looks like they are actually going to clean up the Zerglings.
Wow, that saved the day.
Those are some of the like Bisu probes.
Exactly.
Alright, Hangs' next wave of Zerglings is coming over, but honestly it's like he probably should be using the larva to make drones instead, right? Because the Zealots are blocking the wall, the cannon is finally going to go up, but maybe these 2 can come in and kill it before it finishes.
I think Hangs have no other choice to mass sling since he's behind right now. Oh, the probe scouting, killed by the Sunken.
Did it see the Hydra Den at the front of the base?
Well, if you click on it, yeah.
Ah, true.
So I guess so. Because it was morphing, it was
Right.
beginning when we catch it.
So, yeah, if Swag just sees the morphing building on the Fog of War, he doesn't really know what building it is. It could have been 2 evolution chambers.
Yeah, or another hatchery maybe.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Hanks takes I guess a sort of hidden third base in the top left corner.
Look at Terry the Overlord trying to scan base of Swag.
He's trying his best, but yeah, the Corsair just flies right on past, and it's going to get the scout on Hanks' base. So Swag didn't see it before; he does see it now.
Exactly. He knows now.
However, there's no lair finish, so I don't think Hangs has the... I guess he doesn't have the gas to get lair yet.
Now we can get pretty low.
Yeah, that's no Hydralisk upgrades for him quite yet.
Goon range is in production.
Yeah, so it looks like Hangs is trying to get to having his ranged and speedy Hydralisks, while Swag is just saying, "Oh wait, yeah, I'm gonna prepare for lurkers. I'm that many steps ahead of you almost with the goon range." I mean, he still has 16 more probes than Hanks has drones.
Yeah. Almost double the supply as well.
Oh man. Alright, and with +1 almost finishing, Swag is gonna push out with a really strong Zealot Corsair force. But the Sim City of Hangs at the natural should probably reduce the Zealot surface area by enough so that he'll be able to hold on and not die to this push. But we'll see.
There's 12 zealots there. We'll see how don't sacrifice the Corsair there. Might be a good time to take a third though. No?
Yeah, well, because you know that the Zerg has to be kept in their base, you can take a third, although a little scouting group of Zerglings is running across the map. I mean, the Hydralisks are moving out right as Speed is finishing for the Protoss, so this could be a really bad engagement here for Hangs. Luckily, he still has a few seconds of opportunity left. And all the Corsairs in their main... Oh, they're just getting scouts, but...
There's one killing an Overlord, so doing his work.
And that should supply block Hangs, actually. So... Oh, nope, the Corsair lets the Overlord live, actually. At 25 health. But this one will die. And now Hangs is supply blocked. He already was, and now it's even worse. He's gonna have to get 2 Overlords. While Swag is just he's going straight into getting his Dragoons and his High Templar and his Storm. So game is looking pretty solidly like Swag has got the game. But we'll see. Maybe Hangs can pull a miracle with some Hydra Micro and defeat this force.
No High Templar, so
yeah,
can help Hangs with that. Corsair trying to scout a base or
pick off maybe any wandering Overlords that are giving Hangs map vision. Yeah. Hangs pushes out and then immediately is chased all the way back to his base by Swag's army.
Might find the top left corner base.
And it looks like it, and there's a free Overlord. Oh, nope.
Didn't even see the creep.
The Corsairs do a sharp turn off right before they spot the Overlord and creep.
So unlucky.
The Hydras try a ring around, but oh, they might. Ooh, a bit of a predictive storm there. Kind of wasn't quite in the mind of Hangs' micro. The Hydras really are just kind of running all around the map here. I mean, I don't really see how they're gonna get, how he's gonna get these Hydras out of it. They probably are just gonna get cleaned up by all these Zealots for not really doing a whole lot. Maybe Hanks thought that there was gonna be a third in this base and was gonna go try to deny or cancel it. And it's just losing a lot of Hydralisks.
And he was maybe thinking, oh, I will get the high ground, so it will be more effective, even if I lose them. So some defensive setup on the top left base from Hangs.
Yeah, but I don't think Swag knows about the top left.
No, he didn't scout it with Corsair or anything, so pretty unlucky for him. Could deny it pretty easily. So Corsair in the middle of Hangs.
So these Corsairs, they dive in to try and kill an Overlord, but unfortunately there are just a few too many Hydras there. The Hydras try to push out, and there's a few too many Zealots there.
Now he knows the top left base.
Ah, okay. So Swag does have a pretty easy target because that base is very isolated and there's no hive, which means that there isn't going to be a Nidus canal there anytime soon. Pretty good storm. Oh my gosh, amazing storm on the ramp. Kills a lot of retreating drones as well as a bunch of Hydralisks.
That was huge.
He's going to get Hydra Den as well before this fight is over, so I mean, that's all she wrote, right? I mean, Hangs is going to have to rebuild his Hydra Den, probably at his third base. And in the meantime, he's just going to, Swag is just going to be able to run his entire army through Hangs' like main, and just run up to the third and kill it as well.
Another good storm. I think it might be it though.
It definitely is looking like it. Hangs is definitely living on a prayer here. Maybe we think there's some way that he'll be able to come back here. But he calls the GG.
That's it. And Hangs fought pretty well. I mean, he was behind and he almost got his Zergling to the main of Swag. He was able to hold off the attack most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, that 10-12 gate is scary. It does a lot of damage, and it just, Hangs never really recovered from it. Alright.
He was behind, but he fought well.
Yeah. The Zerglings in Swag's base was almost close to evening up that game.
If the probe transfer didn't happen, that was it. Or it was pretty even though.
Yeah. Alright, our next game is going to be Hangs versus Simo. So we're gonna...
what are you eating, by the way? I heard some sound. I'm sure you are eating right now. No?
Yeah, I have some food here that I was just finishing off. So
that sounds cool. Yeah. I mean, at marathon you have to take some energy, you know.
Right? Doing these long casts. Shoot, it's almost 2 o'clock here, so I might have to actually break for lunch here after this group. But
so you are EST, right?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
So in the top right corner we have the Teal Protoss, Simo. and the bottom left, we have the orange Zerg hangs in this Eclipse game. Yeah. This was actually, I think, the first game I played of all my matches.
Yeah, really?
Yep. But I mean, my basic strategy going into PvZ has been the same for a little while now, where I've been wanting to practice gateway expand.
Okay. I prefer to fast forward expand personally, but it's because my APM is not that high. So.
Yeah, I just really like how aggressive it can be.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of good time.
So he does 9 pool and over pool, sorry.
Yep. So it's going to be a bit faster with the Zerglings, which is kind of scary when you're going gateway expand because you have to really be good with your micro on the Zealots.
Yeah. If you lose it, it's mostly GG. I don't know why the drone went that far away. Then come back with the hatchery at the natural, but maybe miskick rally or something.
Yeah, it might have been he was maybe thinking to go and expand at the third base because he thought the probe might interrupt it, but then decided against it when he saw the probe just go right into the main.
Probably, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, the drone is coming to scouting Simo space.
Yep.
Turn back.
Yeah, sees the gateway expand and.
Would have been a free drone. Would have been nice for you.
It would be very nice. It would make up for the free probe that Hangs gets.
Yeah.
Well,
at least he got some information. So.
Yep, but then gets taken out by some newly hatching Zerglings. And the third base does, in fact, go up for Hangs. I think we're going to probably see the 3-hatch Hydra. Or, yeah.
So you're blocking the ram just to be sure?
Yeah, so when you go gateway expand, if you think that your opponent is going into really heavy Zergling pressure, which I did because I saw the 4 Zerglings come out of the hatchery, you go to block the ramp with your first couple of Zealots and some probes in order to buy time for the rest of your Zealots to come out and start, help defend. Because the Zerglings, they can't do enough damage to the Nexus in time to actually kill it before your second and third Zealots get out. But if they get up into the main, it is pretty much game over, or close to it. You can fight the Zerglings off. It's just very annoying.
Yeah, Zerglings kill probe really fast.
Insanely fast.
And even cannon warping, or they're really good at it, destroying building.
Yeah, Zergling DPS is pretty crazy. I also can see our Protoss player. They kind of mismicroed some timing, and the assimilator they weren't mining. They only just now started mining gas, so a lot of their tech is going to be very late now.
Yeah. Know that there is only Zergling only for now.
Yep, we don't see any the Hydralis Den or any tech here from Hangs quite yet.
So you don't go Stargate for this matchup?
You do. It's just I was pretty far behind on getting my gas because I didn't start mining as soon as the assimilator started.
Okay.
Yeah, this game there was some miss micro here, or some miss macro, I guess. Yeah. So the Stargate starts now. And it's kind of late. And I also was a little worried about Mutalisks. I think I probably shouldn't have been, so that's why there's the cannon in the main.
Yeah, exactly after scouting that there's no lair or anything, but
Yeah.
better be defensive than dying too fast.
True.
Nice macro at the SimCity, sorry, at the third base. I mean,
Where the...
really difficult to get in.
Oh, yeah. It definitely, like... I mean, sunken colonies are already really strong, but, I mean, if you have a good SimCity around your sunken colonies, they can kill, like, 50 zealots before the zealots actually do damage.
I just realized lately that the creep colony is 400 HP, and when you turn it to a sunken, it's dropped to 300 HP.
Yeah. It's an odd interaction.
Yeah, but the damage output is pretty strong anyway, so...
I mean, 40 damage isn't anything to, like, scoff at. It's very strong.
Yep.
Alright, and the lair is halfway done for Hangs now. They're getting a lot of Hydralisks, they're getting their missile upgrades. So it's really looking like a very tight Hydralisk bust that will, it's going to be pretty scary.
And Zergling trying to scout what is inside your natural. There's the cannon and some zealots.
Yeah.
You didn't see the Corsair though, but you didn't send your Corsair to scout or do anything like right now.
Yeah. He's just chilling there, having a good time, taking a quick break before he's sent to die. Well, actually, that's actually the second Corsair. We do have one Corsair out on the map.
Really? Where is it?
He's
yeah,
just now returned, huh? Okay. But it does see the Hydralisk, so I start throwing some additional cannons to help defend from it. Come out and should get this Overlord pick off.
Yeah. So Hangs put links at every base.
Yeah,
so you want break in or whatever.
I really like that play. It's very good to see because, I mean, really, you aren't sacrificing much. It's
no, exactly.
Three sets of Zerglings and you have perfect information on what your opponent's doing.
Yeah, since he's transitioning to Hydra, the links don't do anything.
So some Zealots move up and they clear out the third base, so Simons begins to sort of start building up there. It's a little early, it's at 9 minutes, so that's a very fast third base.
Yeah, not very. Ready.
But it'll be fortunately it's very fragile because Hangs knows that the third base is coming. You can see they almost immediately start, like, maybe the Hydralisk can start moving out. He's getting his army ready to mass outside of his main.
I didn't see if you researched the Storm upgrade, or you just got your Templar Archive.
Hold on, I'll click. I think I can click on a High Templar to see once it comes out, because I actually, if the archive finishes with the Templars coming out, I think the Storm is going to be a little late.
Yeah.
I didn't see Storm either, so I might have actually missed it.
Well, the cannon will be up on time, so you change direction with the Hydra.
And now here comes the Hydra List.
Yeah.
Take a lot of cannons.
The Storm is great.
Okay, there's a Storm. A really good Storm, but also really good micro out of it.
Yeah, it will. Dodging it.
And we have, unfortunately, it looks like that was all the Storm. We have one more Storm in the bank, but the cannons are taking a long time queuing up. So the Hydras might be able to get in here and break it down before Okay, a really good storm takes out a couple of the remaining hydralisks, but they are tearing through the cannons. And, you know, when you pull probes to help, it's never a good thing. And Archon starts morphing, and the cannons are completely nuked right as they're starting to finish. And hangs, I mean, yeah. There's not much more to say about this game. A lot of the probes go down, and the Hydras
because you have your third going, so.
I do have a third, though.
Maybe a few more gateway would have saved the day.
Fortunately, GG, and we head out of the game. So Hangs now is up 2 wins in the Group C. We already did the game where Swag won, so Hangs' final score is 2-1. And now it's time to see what Simo and Swag's final score is in an intense Protoss versus Protoss. The first Protoss versus Protoss of the day, I think.
So a rock, paper, scissors game.
Yup. We're going to see just what is going to go on between these two. I mean, it's PvP, so only terrible things happen in PvP.
I prefer PvP than PvD because it's so long. Usually.
Yeah, I just...
See one mistake and it's GG.
I feel like I dislike PvP because it feels like because both players are using the same units, it's really hard to be like, oh no, you got lucky because of your lurkers are broken and tanks are broken, and in this one it's like, oh, you used High Templar? Yeah.
Or you fast rush DDs and I have no detection? Yeah, well, GG.
Hello.
Hello, character.
Hello, character. Welcome to the cast.
Oh, you're casting.
Yeah.
I should tune into the stream then.
Yeah. Join in, see what's going on. As we can see, Swag is being true to his Protoss nature and building a pylon across the map right outside my base. In fact, at this exact moment, I was like, you know what? It's a PvP. I don't want to die to something stupid, and I send my probe down.
I just saw that.
But I mean, you know, I'm building a forge instead of a gateway, so it's not like I really have any room to talk.
I think that in I can't believe you've done this. I think that in Eclipse, I'd rather get the proxy gateway at the third phase of my opponent, because it takes a longer time for the scouting probe to get it there and discover it while getting information of what's going on.
Absolutely. The usual spot that I proxy gate on this map is like right near the bottom, in between the two bottom bases, because the timing on the mining and stuff, you can proxy 2 gate from there a bit better. Swag is actually only proxy 1 gating this, though. He's now building a pylon as a main. He's got an assimilator, so he's like, I've been found out. But little does he know, there's a pylon in his main.
It's main.
It's hidden right in the darkness there.
I don't know why T-Zealots get back. Maybe he saw that pylon, or... And he's going up. Pretty weird pathing.
Yeah, that is weird pathing.
And he's not black with the gateway and pylon, so...
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Looks like, yeah, the Zealot probably won't be able to do much, especially if there's 2 cannons in the main of Simo, and 2 cannons coming up in the main of Swag.
Damn.
Yep, Swag does finally see it and tries to pull the probe, but the cannon finishes just in time, kills 2, and fully defends that pile of
Yeah.
cannons right to existence. I'll be back later. I'm going to get breakfast. That's fair. So,
And
how do PvPs go from here? Swag does technically have his assimilator up, so with the cyber core he will be able to make some dragoons if he starts mining gas. But he is on a clock with the cannons slowly crouching forward. Oh, another probe gets picked off by the cannons of Simo.
like that probe really fast or grow an army to deny your scheming there. And you send a zealot just to make sure.
Oh yeah. Well, they have to defend the cannons as well. When Swag's own zealots start coming over, it's like, yeah, the zealots have to come.
Okay.
See? Yeah. So we had to cancel that cannon, but we get our assimilator attacking cannon up.
Great.
Swag does have 300 gas, so I mean.
You should have target your probe, by the way.
Yes. If anyone is watching this, if this ever happens to you, kill the probe, not the cannons, because
exactly.
that's the threat there. That cannon gets into Swag's main. We have more zealots coming in the way. Simo's own cybernetics core is getting up, getting built.
It's the same thing with bunker rush or something. When you see that, either focus on the Marines or the SCVs. So.
Yeah, you don't want to actually fight the building bunker.
Exactly.
I could try to kill it.
Or a building bunker that is empty is fine if there's no Marine in it. So.
Right.
Then they know.
And Swag calls out the GG, and that means that our current end score for Group C is Swag with 2-1, Hangs with 2-1, and Simo with 2-1. Which means we have a tiebreaker round to get into.
So proxy gateway and cannon rush. What are the odds of that?
I know. We both went into those games being like, yes, this is what we're going to do.
Oh, damn.
All right. Time to set up the tiebreaker games for Group C. The first set of tiebreakers for the day. The first one, we basically, all three of us, we got on at the same time, and we each, like, 2 people played the game and 1 person spectated. So, these games were a little silly. Though the first game was the rematch of Hangs versus Simo. So me, we'll get in there.
So there we go.
Hopefully it is not a complete repeat of the last game where Hydralisks run up into my base and kill me.
Yeah. So it's the same map as well. So.
Yep. I went to my group and I said, listen guys, are y'all all like, can we just all play on Eclipse? Because that would be cool to me. So we all played on Eclipse.
Yeah, so same starting spots. You're spawning at the top right corner of Eclipse as the old Proas, and we have Hangs that is at the bottom left corner of the map as the blue Zerg. So we'll see if you will do something different this time. It seems so, because you didn't start with the pylon at your natural.
And this. Start the pylon in the bottom right corner.
You're doing a proxy, right?
Yup. So we're gonna see how Hanks shouldn't spot this.
Yeah,
actually, no, the Overlord is being sent across the map. So if the Overlord just goes straight across, he will actually see the proxy. So this could go very badly for me.
On the gateway. The Overlord is scouting right there if it doesn't change the direction.
Oh no. Alright. And then the second gateway goes down and the probe gets sent across to the Zerg base. Unfortunately, the probe does go right into the Overlord's line of sight. So Hangs probably is aware of something is up. You can see he sends a drone that way, and they also will see the probe. And then finally, the Overlord is actually going to fly over the gateway from the looks of things.
He will. I shut down the vision.
Yep.
And sees it right now.
Yep. Hangs is went hatch first, which again, I've said it a couple of times this stream, counterintuitively somehow hatch first is much better against these early Zealot pressure builds because you have 6 larvae to build Zerglings with instead of just the 3 from your main hatch.
Yeah. Double.
So the first Zealot starts heading over right now. We'll see if he's going to be able to get anything done.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
If you want to take the lead.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 drone is trying to get you.
Yep. You immediately go into the extractor, and the spawning pool finishes, and immediately 6 Zerglings get started. We're probably going to see the 7 and 8 start at the natural, and then 2 colonies go down in the natural. I'm not so sure about this. I think if just running these Zealots up into the main and trying to just fight up in there, because right now the drones were able to psych the Zealots out just a little bit. We see Zealots dancing around, not really doing a lot of damage, and then again, 2 Zealots are really low now, but they ultimately come out on top of the Zerglings, but the Sunkens finish and almost completely shut down any reinforcing Zealots coming up. And, yeah.
That hurts.
Yeah, we are pretty... Simo's very far behind at this point. No announcement in RSL Discord.
I spam 2 drone to get the Sunkens, so it's 2 dead drone. But yeah, and you build 2 gateway there, so you have nothing in the main. So try to hold the ramp. Here we go.
Yep.
Morning carry. Let's see, didn't survive long enough.
Nope, and now the Zerglings have pretty much free reign over the probe damage. Try to get a cannon up, but 4 more Zealots start running up into the main to try and help fight these Zerglings off. They're going to get the kill on the pylon. Luckily, a replacement is coming up soon. But the Zerglings are just able to just run away from the Zealots and find a fight elsewhere.
But you hold it, so pretty nice. I'll drill the probe. Cannon is up. We'll get that 3 hits.
Yep. So the Zerglings try to dance in there anymore. They should get taken out by the cannon.
But now they just have to focus the cannon at your proxy.
Oh, that is a good idea. I'm gonna start doing that because I had having to defend the proxy and the main was rough. So that's a cannon at the proxy. What a concept. Yeah.
Well,
a lot more Zerglings just start heading in. The Zealots do scare them away from fully killing the pylon because if the proxy gets depowered, it is kind of a game over here. A lot more attacks. Drone goes for the hidden top left hatchery.
Yeah, pretty greedy from Hangs, but you cannot do anything to it, so.
Oh, Zerglings once again run into the main base. Probes go to defend the cannon, and they successfully get the Zerglings to run out, but they are going to be able to pick up the pylon in the natural for free. I was trying to get cannons up in natural, but unfortunately, it did not work. We now have Corsairs are being built. A Dragoon has come out and is going to start kill this Overlord.
You have 2 idle probes near your neck, by the way.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah. To get the Overlord. Oh, he's already supply block, so.
Yep,
pretty
so
nice.
that's going to be another. Once the Corsair kills that Overlord, it'll be doubly supply blocked, and we're just going to have to see what
Oh, you're sending zealots at the top left corner, so maybe you will spot it.
Looks like, yeah, he's on the murder path.
Yeah, and it just pops, so we cannot cancel it. But
yep, but it'll come down to do I have the like momentum to be able to actually punish this, or am I going to be stretched too thin defending my proxy, defending my main base, to actually be able to take that hatchery out?
and the Hydra is out.
Yep, Hydras are starting to move across the map now, and with the Zergling flank and Hydras coming in, they actually should be able to clear out this force that's defending the proxy base. Yep, the Dragoon gets surrounded and taken out, and then the Zealots are going to fall shortly. That means that all the buildings are going to have to be rebuilt at the main for this game to continue.
Yeah. But more, you're still behind with this. You cannot show any army right now. So. Oh, he left that gateway.
Oh, well.
Doesn't have to destroy it. He doesn't have to destroy it, so.
Right. Just needs to kill the pylon.
But you get the hatchery at the top left corner, by the way.
Well, okay, so if we can hold on, we have some things going for us, but unfortunately we're just now getting pylons set up on the ramp to try and defend from this Hydra and Zergling attack. But I don't think these Zealots are going to be able to hold them off for long enough to live. So it's looking like call GG. That's game 1. So in the tiebreaker game, Hangs is taking the game. No announcement in RSS stream announcement, I mean. I did.
Nicely played, though. It could have worked if he didn't scout it, so.
Right, but he did immediately send the Overlord over. Stream announcement. Yeah, but 4bug in the chat, I sent a message at like 4 hours ago. It's just been a while, I guess. But I did send an announcement, and I guess I probably could have sent a thing here. Anyways.
No problem.
Thank you to Character for sending a message in the streams chat. So hell yeah, man. Alright. So that was game 1 of the tiebreaker. Thanks to Simon, I'm now addicted to proxy gates on Eclipse. That is correct. Dude, Eclipse proxy gates are the most pure form of StarCraft.
I may or may not have been a victim of Marmado's proxy gate on Eclipse.
Welcome to the Eclipse proxy gate support group for people who are both victims and perpetrators of Eclipse proxy gates.
So yeah, I did.
It just feels so good.
The thing is, he only did it once, but I had Escalade proxy gate me like the day before as practice because I just asked him to like cheese me.
Right.
Yeah, I guess, if I remember well.
Because because I didn't want to lose to Protoss Cheese. So
Did you go on to lose to Protoss Cheese?
I guess you'll find out when you cast the games.
True, no spoilers. Are you gonna hop into the cast, or are you still eating, my guy?
Nah, I'm
Nah, we'll just.
probably gonna be eating. So I'm not gonna be saying much
Okay, yeah. It's no problem.
till I finish this oatmeal.
All right, this is game 2 of the Group C tiebreaker round robin something. This time it is Hangs and Swag.
On Paul? No, sorry, Nils. Sorry
Yes,
about that. So
we
it's
mixed
just
the mats.
going to Eclipse on the tiebreaker, right?
Yes, so I think in the tiebreaker we kind of ended up being like, hey, let's not play on the maps. Let's actually go through the maps and play them. So, I know we did bans. So in the first game we banned and we played on Eclipse, and then the second game they banned all the other maps and played on Sylphid. So an interesting thing to note is that the Hangs and Simo game was pretty much the result is the same as the regular round, where with Hangs beating Simo. So something to watch out for is Hangs going to beat Swag here. And these games actually are in order because I'm using them out of my autosave folder. So if Hangs wins here, then they now move on to the tiebreaker, and it'll just be up to Swag and me. But Swag, every PVZ they've done it. Once again with the 10-12 gate. And this time Hangs is going pool first instead of hatch first, so.
So do you think Ang's bluff Swag going with the hatchery there? I think so.
It definitely
Because-
maybe looked like it, and so instead Hangs decided to just get really faster Zerglings.
Because he just saw the 6 Zerglings going down, and he thought he was going 12 hatch.
Could
So
be,
Swag might be, I delays hatchery, and now
but not
like
really.
only.
Hangs is saying, I want to sit on 6 drones and make nothing but Zerglings. And in fact, Hangs goes immediately down and misscouts Swag, so
Exactly.
a lot of the Zerglings are going to have to run all the way across the map now, and Swag
Like
just has to
what?
defend.
But
I can
think he
relive
will.
this amazing series while I make lunch. He was faking the hatch placement. He did like 5 pool. I missed the pool timing, but yeah, this is definitely a scary place to be as with Protoss, because the Zerglings can just run around the gateways and poke at them, and if you aren't careful, they might actually end up killing one.
yeah, or running to the probe.
Yep. Zerglings get a good surround on a Zealot, take it out, and dart back.
But nice micro there.
Oh, and
Plus
Hangs getting the hidden natural. He's getting a natural base, but not his own.
Yeah, ninja base. Always fun.
Yep, and the Zerglings run right around, right into the probe lines, but the Bisu probes say no. And Hangs
Nice done from Swag.
hands off the keyboard, GG's, and that is now
That
1 win for Hangs, 1 win for Swag. It's time to see. Now it's time for Swag versus Simo.
I like the comments of Swag on your chat.
Yeah.
I can't believe his amazing Siri while I made clown. She was faking that placement. Like 5 full, nobody in this group has any honor.
Yeah. I think it's the Oh, what was the game? Not Sekiro, but there was the one, like, it was a game based on, like, Japanese something, and there was apparently a whole theme in it about how, like, someone was giving up their honor to try and, like, win a war. And that basically is this. We all just gave up our honor and said we're going to win, and we all did the worst things to each other.
The dirty tricks.
Alright. Time for the optimizer game. Like I said, we did picks, we did bans for the maps here, and I think both me and Swag, just something in us said, no, we're going to be as annoying to each other as possible, and we ended up, like, we banned every map except optimizer. So, in the top left of optimizer, the first optimizer game of the RSL of either section, either season, top left is Swag as the red Protoss, and the bottom right is Simo as the teal Protoss. This game, we're gonna speed up. Of course, I've been forgetting to speed up the first couple minutes of the game, but this game. I just want to sincerely apologize. I mean, people who are watching the stream, they're only going to be able to get, like, what we're catching, but you're actually, like, in the replay watching it, so you have, like, first-hand exposure to the radiation that this game gives off.
So I guess since you build a pylon into your main, you will go forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
I credit it. But Swag is not going proxy gate, so.
Right, so it is definitely, and he even sends the probe out along the edge. Oh, I didn't even catch that when I played it. He was like, I need to check to make sure there isn't a pylon in that top right corner.
Yeah, but now.
Yeah, he's going double gateway. I also got really lucky in that I scouted cross map, and that was where he was at.
So you were checking if there was a proxy gate or something?
Yes, I think the center of optimizer is buildable, so I think in PvP at least it's pretty optimal to scout cross map, because if they build it in the center, you'll catch it. But I do see that Swag is going 2 gate, and I build a cannon in my main just for, safety.
So no cheese so far.
No cheese so far, but I mean, the
but I
forge
think
is there.
they're going for it, right?
Yeah. I built a second cannon in my main. I don't think that's quite optimal. I think maybe if I instead just built the cybernetics core there, it would have done a lot of the same thing. But I really didn't want to get killed by, like, a dedicated zealot pressure. And I think our cybernetics core timings are pretty similar. Mine is a little bit ahead anyways. Other than that, we get dangerously close. This is almost dangerously close to being a regular PvP. I'm continuing to sort of scout around the map to make sure that he doesn't have a, like, hidden base somewhere or is being sneaky. And he has zealots roaming.
Yeah, it's awesome too.
Probes are doing some kind of dance out here. It looks like, yeah, Swag is going for an expansion? No. I think the probe is going to try to block mine from getting in, but it can't. The probe always gets in.
You're going with the Sidle of Adu, so am I wrong if I expect some BD?
Some Dark Templar? You are absolutely not wrong. However, Swag is going Robo first.
Yeah.
So.
Unless you're going with the Reaver deck, or we'll find out soon.
We will. And a single
And
zealot
for,
comes scouting just as I'm trying to like get cannons out at my natural to defend. I actually have 0 fighting units. So we're going to see what the zealot is able to do. Let's see if zealots are as good against photon cannons as zerglings. The answer is kind of yeah.
pretty fast. And for those that are new to optimizer map, there's 2 vesting gas, but be careful because there's one with 4,000 gas and the other one is only 1,000. So before building your assimilator, be sure to pick the right one.
And now he gets a zealot in my main base because my cannon placement is... Yup. That's some good cannon placement. And he can't come any closer because the cannon actually does have an insane diagonal range. So he does just sit there, pick off some probes. He has 9 more probes than I do, but I have Dark Templar. What is this game? How did this game work like this? How does he have 8 more probes than me? I'm so confused. And he is going robo first instead of observers. So there go the Dark Templar.
Because he's building a shuttle.
Yep. Alright, now that the cannons are up, my mineral line is a bit safer, and I don't have to worry about it. I can just send my Dark Templar right across the map, ready to win me the game. Like a...
You move them and just click them right to the main. So.
Yeah, basically.
Because if you add the dragon, it will delay them and you will know, so... But now it's...
Now, Swag should have... Oh, sorry, Swag... Actually, I don't know if Swag has vision of the Templar Archives, because if they did, I feel like... I mean, they're building the Forge now, but they are, like, really far behind. Like the cannons aren't going to be up in time. There isn't an observatory coming up. So the DT are just going to run havoc on the probes here. And, yeah. Yeah, you can just see, we can look at these 7 kills on one as the guy with 4 kills is like, I'm gonna chase down this conga line.
Yeah, and Swag is sending his Reaver with his shuttle.
Yeah, he's kind of trying to ensure mutually assured destruction by saying, you know what, if you're gonna have Dark Templar in my base, I'm going to have a Reaver in yours. The problem is, my base is also going to have Dark Templar in it. It is the power of invisible men.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Swag I guess he's mining my my natural base. He might have right-clicked them over to try and just mineral walk them, but the Dark Templar will just continue swiping. Swag is down to 8 probes. There's still a zealot in my base. As now a Dark Templar is now running his dragoons all the way back across the map. The observatory is coming down in the middle of the map. The unscoutable Protoss Observatory in the like top leftish middle. So observers will eventually come up. Once I killed all the probes, I was like, you know what, I'll try and take out the Robo Bay, but the observer should finish before it dies.
But
let's see. The observer's so very close.
We're still ahead with
and it does get out.
Oh
my
barrel.
God. Let's see what's going on around the map. We have a Dark Templar over by some minerals. So this is actually a trick because I knew Swag had the shuttle, so I started getting really paranoid about proxy bases. So I did the little bounce trick and got the DT over into the side base.
And now time to deal with those.
Yep. You ever see? What do you think about the Dark Templar versus Reaver matchup? You see, we also have a probe and a Dark Templar over here to try the jump. Let's see. Get the Dark Templar over. It doesn't work.
Nope.
Maybe we could try one more time. Bounce the Dark Templar over. it doesn't work. Like, I have 100, it says I have 190 APM right now. I'm pretty sure half of that is just trying to get this Dark Templar to jump over the minerals.
Yeah.
Eventually I just give up and send him into the main, and he gets killed by Swag's army. At this point, the supply, we are 9 minutes into a PvP, and the supply is 33 to 30. The probe count is 23 to 8.
Yeah.
And the game is not over yet.
But look at the double at your natural expansion.
Yep, so the Reaver does get dropped in, starts tearing through what I have. I, of course, send one of my brave invisible men over, start swiping at it.
But only one hit.
Yep, only one hit, so the Reaver does still alive. I'm starting, I say, you know what, I have Dark Templar, I'm going to just start running them around, see what damage we can do. Yep. So I'm scouting, basically, I'm trying to look at every base because I know I've killed so many of Swag's probes, and I'm like, okay, the only way that, like, economically he'll kind of catch up is if he has a hidden base. Meanwhile, I have just the most beautiful campaign Protoss, like, like SimCity. And yeah. I begin building a Stargate, because at this point, is my net not even centered?
Yeah, you kind of look to the left, right?
Oh my god, this game is so silly. Yeah, at this point I built a Stargate and a Corsair because I wanted to kill the shuttle. Because I was like, you know what I need to kill this shuttle? A fucking Corsair. Meanwhile, the shuttle just gets picked off by, like, or it doesn't get, it's almost killed.
Yeah, still survives.
Yep.
And it's 48 to 48, so it means that Swag have a bigger army advantage right here.
It does, so we're going to have to see how this shakes out, because I do have a lot of Dragoons and 3 cannons that he's trying to attack into. A really nice Reaver shot does a lot of damage to the Dragoons. And yeah, we target down the Observer, which is optimal, because, you guessed it, there's invisible men being made. They're also probably out on the map somewhere. However, it looks like Swag is going to deny this Nexus.
Yeah.
And completely destroy it. Like, there's maybe too many cannons for him to be able to push into the main. The shuttle also had died in that attack, so the Reaver is slow rolling. Let's see what's going on, and nothing. Yeah, so it is entirely just defending this. 3 invisible men being built at a time to fight off this attack. The Reaver is amassing its scarab count, and the flanking KP boy comes in to begin taking out the Reaver.
Oh, damn. Do we know how many kills that Reaver had? No, we will never know.
We will never. It probably had a whole lot. We also now have a Corsair out on the map, in sort of like the top rightish middle of the side. The top right.
Oh,
I hopped a probe.
Oh, made it.
My god. And you can see I immediately dropped to 140 APM, because it's like, okay, the 50 APM I was using to bounce that probe, don't need that anymore. Swag puts cannons up in his main to detect the Dark Templar sliding in. He has a cannon in his mineral line, so he is fully protected from the invisible men.
That's it for you, for this guy.
Yeah. Swag, if you had rebuilt that, the Robo Bay, like, 3 minutes, like, as soon as the first one died, if you had rebuilt that as part of, like, building your army up, you probably would have won.
Yeah, I think so as well. Or at least put you at base. So.
Yeah. So Swag is now expanding.
See, your Nexus is better placement there.
Oh my gosh.
You still see the remains of the other Nexus, and it's not at the same spot.
We learned from our mistakes.
It happened.
And so with my scout flying across the map, I am again just being like, okay, where are bases? And I see the observatory and I go, really? That's where it's at? He actually will also scout the probe moving to the bottom left base. So that's going to be interesting. I think DT is probably going to divert out to catch that probe. Yeah, so we're getting Storm, and we're getting, yeah, so now this is almost looking like an actual PvP like army here, because there's some High Templar, there's some Dragoons. If you pretend the Dark Templar are Zealots and squint really hard, it might look like a regular army. As Swag is finally getting a second observer.
Yeah, exactly.
Or actually, no, a third observer now, because the second one is actually helping his Dragoons. He's going to have to rebuild the observatory because the proxy observatory strats are a little weird. Swag in the chat said, ironically, every game I've seen on Optimizer is the opposite of optimized.
Totally agree with him.
Yeah. So, yeah, Swag has gone from being 15 probes behind to only being two probes behind, and he's catching up very quickly. He's rebuilding his Reaver to help supplement his force, and he's getting his Templar tech now. At this point, I'm saying, you know what? I'm just going to push out on the map. I had a Corsair. I think it's somewhere. I think it got killed by the Dragoon. Nope, it's in the bottom left. Right, it's in the bottom.
One was killed by the Dragon, by the way.
Ah, so we did make another Corsair.
Yeah.
So I was going to join for the next cast. Sounds great. His observer comes in, sees my natural, and it's like, yeah, this is how this game has gone. I actually make sure that my probes are mining out the smaller patches so that I can build my third on the island as soon as possible. And I just, you know what, I'm just going to move out. I feel confident in an attack. I have a lot of really high charged Templar ready to go.
We have two stormed by High Templar right now, so really nice.
Yep.
And if you can snipe the hubs, the DD will
Unfortunately, yeah, if the OBS does wander into storm range, because unfortunately I don't think I ever built an observatory. My robotics facility is just now being made, so observers are definitely not going to be part of this fight. Right, a preliminary storm goes out, weakens, and a second one from the same High Templar gets 2 Dragoons and softens up a lot of them. 3 more High Templar with several storms ready to go, and I just go, I'm going to charge in, try to get in the storm range, and a really nice storm. It's a lot of damage on Dragoons, another storm in the back, weakens up some more Dragoons. Storms just go down, blink at the field, the Dragoons dived on the Reaver and killed it.
I think
that's the game. Swag GG's. I would have raged so hard your stream would get banned from Twitch. Thanks, Swag. That was a great game. Oh gosh. And so at this point in the Group C tiebreaker matches, everyone had one game won and one game everyone had won a game and lost a game. Yeah.
That is correct.
Everyone did have one game won. You're right about that.
True. So we had to do it all over again.
Game 1, take 2.
Yep.
One
So
thing
now
I
it is-
wish we kept was all the chatter we had between the games, because we were just like, just going off about how much cheese there was in all these games.
I remember I think we had all agreed that like we went into it trying to be like, you know what, it's kind of late. We want to just get these over with as quickly as possible, and we just all wanted the cheese, and it ended up taking longer because we all cheese so much. It's peak StarCraft.
And like after that optimizer game, Hangs was like, Swag, all you have to do was make an observer. I was like, thanks for telling me that.
He should
I
have
didn't know that.
privately messaged you on Bal, and I was just like, please, Swag, make an observer. But you may not like it, but that's what
Dishonor.
peak PvP looks like. See, that PvP game, I'm pretty sure we played how like Terran players think Protoss players play all the time. We're just confirming their suspicions.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Alright.
man. If it winds up being a lot of the games in the group, are they really wrong?
I mean, look, we didn't have a Terran player in this group, so you don't even. We weren't even at our full power level.
That's true. And now, like, my bracket is like mostly Terrans.
Oh, nice.
No
So,
Zergs.
well, good luck on making it past that.
Anyways, this game.
Yep.
So I remember obsing this game and being like, "There's no way Simo tries this again." Same map.
I literally was like, "Hey, I did it the first game. I mean,
So why not do it again?
yeah,
And it didn't work.
Like, he'll never suspect it the second time.
yeah. If it doesn't work the first time, if your opponent respects you, they'll understand that you won't go it again." And I mean, to be fair, I've done nothing in my game.
See, I make that mistake all the time, and then they do it again the second time, and it works, and I'm like, God damn it!
Exactly, character. This is why I need to play more players like you, because Hangs
Like-
just goes. See, actually,
Like, never give your opponent too much respect. Just assume that they'll do it
True.
again. Like, if they did it once, they'll do it again.
Marmotato says in chat, Eclipse addiction, and honestly, going 2 gates on Eclipse is an addiction.
Again, you're doing it again.
Yep.
I mean, aren't your gates too far? Like, isn't the proxy location usually closer to the enemy than your own base?
So I time it out to build the pylon at 8 regularly. I don't know why. I like having them out here. So we go and scout with the probe. Luckily, Hangs' scout pattern is a little different this time. So he
Yeah, I mean-
actually isn't en route to scout my my proxy gate. So it is actually very possible that he said, you know what? I don't think he is going proxy gate.
Yeah, you
I
sent
mean-
the drone at the right path, but as soon as the overlords had your probe backtrack and made the hatchery.
Yeah.
I also think that it's so far back that I don't think the Zerg would scout it anyway.
True,
He's
and now
also
here's
making
for the
8
most
lanes,
brilliant
which is just-
tactical IQ thing. My zealot is walking across the map. I'm like, do I fight these Zerg things? Probably not. I guess we're base
go
trading now.
There's
Oh
more
my-
of them than there is of me.
Who will win? A Zealot in the main base or 6 slings in the main base?
Yeah, so I'm like, I guess I'll just try to build a forge and cannons in my main, and then 6 Zerglings get in, and I go, ooh.
Yeah,
Hold
it's
on.
gonna take a while.
Damn.
Oh boy. The drill, just drill them.
Yeah, I'm
No.
sorry, Swag. I do not have access to Bisu's probes like you do. Who's your probe guy? I really need to get a deal. Can you get me a deal with him?
Drill. This is not a drill. You need to drill.
Yeah, so I do
Poor
send like
zealot.
one zealot back. He gets surrounded and killed. I have no probe. I have one probe, and that probe is in Hangs' main. And I go, okay, that's GG. I remember in the
If
out of
only.
game chat, we were just being like, please. We were going into this, or at least I was like, Hangs, please win. I do not want to like have to go through like round 3 of tiebreakers. So yeah. Because it's looking Hangs has gotten the first win, and now it's him against Swag.
Yeah. we're
If
doing
Hangs
them in the
wins
same
this, it's the
order.
one-way ticket to like just being ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
So, no Silphid this time.
Yeah, I don't know why everyone banned Polypoid. Because I remember I was like trying to get Polypoid, people kept banning it. It's like the most balanced map. Why are you banning it?
I
Oh,
have
because you can't proxy in the middle of polyploid.
no.
You can.
You can.
There's
though.
room.
I
It's not dead center though. It's a little bit off.
like around the lake or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the very center, there's like a single tile of water, and then some unbuildable terrain near it. But still, within the same screen, you can proxy.
Yeah, but if it's not dead center, then why bother?
True. Why can't Protoss buildings be built on water? It's just... How's that balanced? Alright, in the bottom left corner of Neosylphid, we have Hangs as the olive Zerg brood. And in the bottom right of Neosylphid, we have Swag as the light yellow, light tan Protoss tribe. And we're gonna see, Swag, are you gonna go 10-12 gate against every PVZ? Yes.
Well, yes, in this one. But not always. But against Hangs, I was like, I've beat him with 10-12 gate every time. I may as well just do it. Which is actually kind of a problem because he like randomly asked me for games the other night, and then he beat me twice when I did 10-12 gate. So I was like, maybe I should learn Forge Expand.
See, I feel like maybe I'm gonna get a little conspiratorial here, but there's a possibility that I mentally primed him to like for your 10-12 gate because I went the same 2 gate and lost. So he's probably thinking, oh man, Simo did the same build and lost to me, so Swag probably isn't going to do the same build as last time because it'd be the same build that Simo did.
Unless, you know, they just didn't look at the replay. Or...
No, we were obsing each other the whole time.
Oh, okay.
So Hangs was actually in the last game. Marmotato, Forge Fast Expand, more like Forge Fart Expand. Ha! Got him. Nailed it. You've roasted every single Protoss player, Marmo.
Nobody actually likes doing Forge Fast Expand, so it's fine. I agree with it.
It depends. If pylons are built outside of Zerg's base, I will Forge Fast Expand all the time. But otherwise, it's really scary, man.
Every time I Forge Fast Expand, I'm just waiting for Hydras to like maybe show up and kill me, or fake show up and kill and not kill me, and then expand like crazy behind it, and then kill me later.
Alright, I forgot to speed up at the start of the game because I'm trying to keep like a decent pace of schedule here.
Yeah, that's fine.
So once the Zealots get over there, we'll probably slow it down to watch some Zealot micro. Ooh, Zerglings catch the probe. That's big for.
I don't know how they caught up to that fucking thing.
They were still running on 2x speed. The probe had already slowed down.
All right. Well, he set up a nice little SimCity against himself right there.
Right. I think this was in another PVZ. I think it was actually in one of the other games where the way that this is set up, when the Zealots wedge them in there, the Zerglings have to run all the way around to try and get a surround. So.
Yeah.
So Zealots in the main.
I kind of make a mistake here. I was trying to multitask or something, which is why I kind of lost track of these 3 Zealots in the main. So they get surrounded instead of being wedged behind the minerals.
Right. I see. So they don't trade very efficiently, and so the 2 out here who are just gonna try to kill the 3rd hatch, they kind of run back. They're scared.
Yeah. The difficulty with this build is like you have to be like macroing at your base, but like at our level, I can't do anything but micro the Zealots efficiently. Like,
yeah,
picking the probe out of my line and like finding the nexus spot, I think that's too much. But I am double on workers, which is like kind of the whole point of opening 2 gate. It's just
Yeah.
like get a
You
nice worker lead.
You forced a ton of Zerglings, and you have enough zealots to where they are like Hangs can't really like
Yeah, you
fight
have to
you.
respect that.
Yeah. Now, it was at this point that I realized I don't know how to wall on this map. So I'm like, what do I do? I guess I put a forge on the left, because that's what you do in general, but like that first pylon I put down, I'm like, I don't know what the hell.
I
There's
mean,
some
if
rock
it's enough
and
space for the forge is over there, so.
But as you will maybe see, yeah, see, the probe fits between the gateway and the pylon, which means
Oh, the
a
Zerglings.
Zerg
will-
Yeah, I
can fit in
think
there. So
Dragon good there.
there's 3 different holes in this wall. Now, I don't know if Hanks knows that.
Yeah, like Hangs might be thinking, okay, I see the 2 holes with the zealots are covering them, because like if he ran those Zerglings through the gateway pylon wall, he'd be in your mineral line.
Yeah.
Behind
like,
this, he's
speed
getting
just
his
finished.
lair up, so I think it looks like it's gonna be. Yeah, he goes 2 hatch or 2 base spire, right?
Yeah, that's typically a good counter to this opening because Protos's tech will be very delayed.
But you're playing really well. You're getting the cannons up in your main, or get cannons up in your natural, and the Stargate is coming up. Ooh, the Zerglings are gonna try to run by.
Yeah.
They get the surround on
It's
the
at that
cannon.
moment I saw the legs come around. Top.
Rest in pepperonis.
Rest,
Yeah.
indeed, that poor cannon. And 2 very badly damaged Zerglings get into the main, but like a single probe shot to either of them, they shouldn't get any
Get
kills.
That was so cruel. That cannon had a life to live. It was just born.
Yep, Hanks sends a drone up to the top 12. That looks like it's going to be a
Sneaky.
base pretty soon.
I don't think I even. Oh no, he's moving.
Oh no,
He wants
he's probably just trying to
natural.
keep you on. He might maybe expand to the natural, but
Alright. And this. I mean.
I think this was a really awkward attack.
This, I saw this and I was like, I don't know, like, the drones just fuck it up, so I was like, okay,
Yeah.
drone drill is gonna make it too hard, but
Mhm.
otherwise, I could probably break that just barely, or like force a lot more lanes at least.
Yeah, I mean he is making another 4 sets of lings, so you did force a bunch of lings there.
Yeah.
I mean, those
It's really
those
funny to
are
me how
larvae that aren't going to be mutalisks.
And
True.
Spire is almost done.
So we're
Yeah.
probably gonna see like as many mutalisks as possible start building as soon as that finishes.
Yeah. And he's got a lot of drones. He just droned really heavily once I was stuck in my base.
Yeah, he really needs maybe a 3rd base. Oh, he's getting his 3rd base, so should
Yeah, that's
be
a good
pretty
location.
close to getting. Yep, there's 4
like-
mutalisks and a scourge, so the should be able to save the overlord.
Yeah. Oh.
Son of a
First,
bitch.
always hate to see it. The first Corsair dies to
Yeah.
the first 2 sets, first set of scourge.
Second Corsair though.
Gets revenge.
Is he gonna get it? I don't even remember. Okay, run.
Revenge. Oh, there's just it has to run away from the pack of mutalisks.
Yeah.
So Hangs is pretty heavy on mutaling. They're supply blocked for now, but their 3rd is coming up, and I mean they're in a pretty decent position.
I think your probe is trying to get out the base. There we go. It was blocked.
Alright, now this is a feature that I didn't really know about this map, but if you look at my natural, it's just getting wrecked.
Yeah.
Nice need and light. The Scourge got 1.
Yeah, his meter macro is quite good there.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, I think the correct play is you're supposed to get double Stargate, or like a Dark Archon for Maelstrom.
Right. If they're dedicating mutas that much in the mid game.
Yeah, I saw that and was like, it's hard to tell because I did kill some mutas. I was like, is he gonna remake them or not? It's you just like don't know. But
Well, and it does look like he's not remaking them and instead choosing to go down Hydra Tech. 7 Hydralisks on the way with speed and +1 attack. So.
now the problem is like I have a pretty decent ground army. They're not, but except they're not upgraded yet, and I can't really move them around because the mutas can kind of. Like
They can.
Mutaling can help clean it up.
They can poke at the Dragoons and the Zealots.
Yeah.
These Dragoons, even though they fire up, they are really bad against Mutalisks.
Yeah, and I don't even have goon range, I think.
No, you upgrade. I'm pretty sure I saw Goon range.
Oh,
Right.
However, these Corsairs were so close to
Scourge,
getting
man.
completely taken
Yeah.
down. But they did a lot of
I'm so
damage to
glad
the
Scourge are
Mutalisks,
gone.
and I mean, there's only 2 of them left.
If Scourge actually had good AI, they'd be so strong.
Oh god. Could you imagine if like an A-move Scourge fleet didn't send like 15 Scourge at 1 Corsair and all suicide on it? It'd be insane.
Alright, so I scouted that third with my Corsairs, but by the time I get there with the army, there's like just way too much.
Yeah, 5.
Way too many Sunkens.
Yeah, coming up on 5 sunken or 4 sunkens and probably going to be a spore. Like, that's not breakable. However, Hangs is once again supply blocked at 60. So he's spending a lot of time supply block. So your macro is getting pretty far ahead of him. Like you're up 40 supply almost.
Yeah, I needed to put down gateways, like a lot of gateways, I guess, right now.
Oh
He's
yeah,
going
you're
there.
stuck on. You're going up to 4 now, which isn't great.
Yeah, and this is the part of the game I don't like, where I'm like, I can't attack the third, I can't attack the natural,
Well.
and I can't drop the main, so like, what do I do? It just feels bad. So, but I got a chance to macro.
I gotta go, but got to continue with the
Okay.
Alright,
Yeah, no problem. Take it easy.
see ya.
Alright.
And I get a really late robo here, so
Yeah.
if Hangs had gone like lurkers earlier, probably would have done a lot of damage or contained me really hard.
Yeah, you would have been completely backed up into your natural.
Yep.
But you know, you can't go every tech at once, and when you went for the as many mutas and scourge as he did, it's really hard to also be like, oh, I'll get lurkers too.
Yeah. Okay, see, I did not have Dragoon range. I'm getting it now.
Oh, okay.
12 minutes. I was like, why am I not shooting these
Hey, man,
units from range?
Don't mock the 12, or actually really the 13-minute Dragoon range timing.
Yeah, plus the super late robo and
Storm is just like getting started.
yeah. A lot of games where I open 10-12 gate look like this because like the timings for both players are just thrown off.
Yeah,
Or they
like
just feel really weird.
the whole game gets delayed. Oh yeah, we missed it, but Hangs actually had to kill the Sunkens in his base to free up room for his Hydra.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's great.
Alright, now you're getting your 3rd, and Hangs isn't really getting a 4th to match you. So if you're able to hold this from this Hydrosk attack, which you probably should.
Yeah, I just need to move my whole army over there, and I have like my first High Templars now. Storm is almost finished.
Storm is almost done, and once those storms go down, we're gonna see those RSL storms where they kill 50 Hydralisks per cast. Let's see. Yeah. And you have an absolute fleet of Corsairs.
Yeah, I was just like, what? I just have a thing where if I start making Corsairs, I'm like, I'm just gonna keep making them because they feel good.
Right. It's
and
like,
it works out great because look, he's got like 7 Overlords right there. With some
yeah, and even once you actually engage
my
in the
God.
fight, yeah, this was actually a big thing. I remember we
There's
talked about
so
this
many
after the game.
Overlords.
We were like, please don't send all the Overlords.
It's crazy because I didn't even have DTs,
Yeah.
and Hanks wasn't like planning to do a drop or anything.
Right.
Oh my god.
He just ended up sending like a bunch of Hydralisks and Overlords, and Yeah, he supply blocked all the way down to 61 on 84, which is pretty bad.
Yeah, and I just like really underestimated how much that supply blocked him, because looking at this replay, I should have just clearly just like chased him all the way down.
Yeah.
Natural.
I mean, Zerg is scary though.
Zerg supply
Yeah.
excellence.
Yes. Okay, I think Hank's finally is gonna get a 4th base. He's gonna grab the top main, but you already have some zealots like running to check for this.
Yeah,
And
this
they
is
should
something
do
I
a
need to
good
do
job
more
of
often.
making sure Hank's camp doesn't really get a 5th base, I should say, because he does take his mineral only. I was confused for a lot of the game why he didn't take his like his pseudo high ground 3rd base there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people just generally don't like it that much because the Vespian only has 1500 and like it's only 6 mineral patches, so it's not like a great base to take just economically.
Oh, I actually, yeah, I guess I never really paid attention to that, or I never really saw like, oh, it only has 6 mineral patches. Yeah, huh?
Yeah. Also, the geyser just depletes super fast, which is really surprising. And like I didn't know that for a while because this is not a ladder map, so I just like don't play that much.
Yeah, I mean, I've played a lot of Neo stuff. I've just been like, ooh, base, huh?
But yeah, it'll deplete like it's gonna deplete faster than my main geyser, which is just crazy.
Okay. I now see why Hanks didn't take that. Say the pseudo high ground 3rd.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, like his actual 3rd base that he took is like way easier to defend too, and it's further from me, so that
Throw a
makes
bunch of
sense.
Sunkens on there and call it a day.
Yeah.
Alright, so Hive Tech is almost done for Hangs, and we're gonna see where he goes from there with that. Probably gonna see a Defiler Mound or an Ultraless Cavern. As he runs around, yep, he finds your 4th base, and I think he should
and
get
it turns
the
out
deny on it.
Hydras can just slip through.
Yeah.
This is not even oh yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. So yeah, you
Yeah.
can just walk through. I was like, oh okay, I didn't know that.
Huh. Vultures, they are not. Fortunately, these are not in drop rewards, so he can't evacuate his Hydra Force, and this whole little attack should get cleaned up. Yep, so the Defiler Mound is about halfway done there for Hangs.
Yeah.
And
Now this group is really annoying, just like being there and like,
yeah, you have to like try to attack up into it.
yeah. And I'm like, I guess I have to clean it up. Like even if I don't want that base anymore, I still have to clean it up because they'll just like backstab or something.
Right. You can clean up pretty easily. Not a super amazing storm, but you do get the damage done cleaning Hydras up.
Alright, and the Corsairs get to have a bunch of free Overlord kills now.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I do remember telling Hanks like, please quit sending. You can send some Overlords with the Hydras, but don't send like so many. So these especially like if your opponent, if you don't actually limit the Protos's Corsair count, so many Overlords die for free with
Yeah.
them just running
Alright,
around.
now.
Oh, and
Here
here's
comes
the
push.
big attack. Hangs does finally try to take this like little island base after expanding all over, but I mean it is pretty vulnerable. He didn't get any defenses set up in time, and space should die pretty quickly. And you have the momentum to just like run up a natural, probably. Huge storm does a lot of damage, kills some Hydralisks. Another storm. Hangs tries to retreat from the Zealots and retreats right into the storm. With a 70 supply lead, and that just is going to continue to. Well, I mean, Lurkers do a lot of damage.
Storm Egg.
Storm Egg! Ah, yes. I see you too have learned the ways of the
canceled
storm.
them.
Huh. He tried to cancel them right. Maybe try to micro them out. Yep.
Yeah, that
That's
is
pretty much
gonna
good.
be it.
Yep. I mean, you're gonna take the natural and be able to walk up into the main. Unfortunately, he never really had the time to get the defiler tech online, so any defilers that he does have are not really gonna be useful.
They're definitely not online.
They're not. And Hangs. GG's. And it's starting to look a lot like the first round of tiebreakers.
But yeah, that game, I felt a lot of pressure in that game because I was like, if I play Sumo again, I'm gonna get cheesed, and then who knows, like, who wins that game, right? So I was like, I have to at least beat Hangs.
Right, I remember after that game, I begged, I was like, please, can we not go into the third round? I tried to just let you have the bye, and you refused.
Yeah, you did. You were like, it's okay, you can just take it. I was like, no, we're gonna play. Otherwise, I'm gonna think about that optimizer game forever.
You had to like get it out of the system. You had to be like, no, I'm better than this.
Exactly.
You had to prove yourself.
I mean, I was like having nightmares about the like in the regular stage when you cannon rush my main. I was like having nightmares about that between that game and the tiebreaker, so I had to defeat the inner demons.
And we'll see if you were truly able to conquer those inner demons on the circuit breaker match. I guess we did ban games down to circuit breakers because I really didn't want to play circuit breakers.
I'm not crazy about this map either. It's just like, I definitely didn't want to play Eclipse because I saw you proxy gate and it's a 2-player map, so like extra cheesy. And then I didn't want to play Optimizer because last game.
So
So I
got
guess
stuck
we
with
got this one.
Yeah,
Are you telling me that was not optimal?
I
Not
am.
an optimal game?
That map is cursed.
Optimizer.
I don't know what they
Pretty
were
sure
smoking.
that was optimal PvP.
Yeah. I've seen two. Okay, of the reported replays so far, two of people. Character, you're one of them. You've played to 5 games. Did you play every map, or did you just?
No, we played every map.
Yeah. So
I did something dumb on Optimizer.
What did you do?
It was. You'll find out. I'll just say that it's not an actual build.
Oh
when we
boy.
started this game, I didn't know if the middle of circuit breakers is actually buildable or not.
I don't think it is, but I meant
It
more
is.
like in the 2 side bases, but
In the very middle, you can proxy.
Oh, well that's good to know.
That needs to not be a map feature.
Yeah. Okay, I haven't watched this replay yet, so I'm actually super curious about the vision of leaving the base. Because I was like, I want to build the pylon right here behind the minerals. And I need to figure out the exact vision of a unit walking out of the base so that I know, like...
I barely saw it.
Oh,
I'm
man.
pretty sure I barely fucking saw it. I didn't see that pylon, I saw the cannon, I think.
Okay, I'm just going to turn your vision off because I know the Zealot does walk out. So where exactly... Oh,
yep.
man. I think
barely.
if it
If
was
you put
like...
the pylon on the left,
Yeah, if it was right
cannon
next to
on
the
the left.
pylon, it would have worked. And I was like, as soon as that happened, I was like, oh, come on, man.
Come on, man, are you kidding me?
I was like, come on. Because
That's the
usually,
point where I would
usually I place my pylon way closer to the pylon, or I place my cannon way closer to the pylon. But then it's like, oh, I have to like inch the cannons towards the entrance, or else they can just run zealots past. And so I was like, I'm gonna be a little aggressive. I'm gonna put the cannon a little bit out, and you saw it. And so obviously I go, you know what? If I can't cannon rush you from over there, I'm gonna cannon rush you from your third.
I'm not convinced that that's even a thing. It's like a thing you can do.
It is now.
It
Watch
is now.
history.
Yeah, and I
Because
don't see it. Yeah, it's actually right outside of vision.
literally
Maybe
right
those
on the
zealots
blacks. Yeah.
bump
Perfectly
into each other
placed.
more.
All part of the plan.
Yeah, I have a cannon in my main, so it's pretty safe from the zealots. Pretty sure your scouting probe also dies at some point.
Yeah, like right here.
Yep.
Alright, now 3 zealots. I'm like, the cannon is placed very well for drills, but I'm like, maybe he doesn't know how to drill.
I'm just like, no, send everything. My drilling potential is very low.
Look at this. Look at that shit.
Look at that shit.
At least I make you remake it.
Yeah, I very much don't want to deal with like the other 4 zealots that I'm pretty sure were coming, but you instead teched up.
Oh.
And I go, you know what? I'm just gonna start sneaking the cannons over to your base.
Oh, this is so stupid. And I see this probe come back in, and I'm like, what are you planning? Where was this probe? Like, it definitely didn't get here from your base, because I was just there, and it takes too long. So then I go out, and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I had to cancel the cannon right before it finished, or else it would have died. Oh, everything went wrong. Because I scouted the robo, and I go, he's going Reavers, no. The cannon strats won't work like this.
Yeah, and I was like,
that Reavers.
and I'm also just remembering the optimizer game, and I don't know if I go obs first, but I feel like I do, just based on like the trauma from the optimizer game.
Yeah.
At least I definitely should.
I mean, I am going a Citadel of Adun, so that
You are.
isn't-
Okay, yeah, I go obs first.
Did you
Some-
notice
Good thing I
that it was a cannon and not the pylon? Because, like,
What do you mean?
when the Dragoons had shot at the cannon and it was
Yeah.
cancelled.
Oh yeah, I clicked it. I mean, there would be no reason to put a pylon
God,
that close to the
cannon range is so crazy. Like, the
look
diagonal
at that.
cannon range.
I can't even get across the bridge. It's like right there.
I'll not pass.
Yeah, I mean, you are just without a doubt way ahead of me though in this game. I mean, you have your expansion being built. You have 8 more probes. Like, come on. I
But
have
this
3
game-
cannons.
I'm just like going through every possibility in my head because I'm just like, what insane cheese is he like cooking up?
And
You know?
then the carriers fly out. Nah.
Imagine there was like a Stargate behind the cannons. And he's just like got proxy carriers.
I proxy Corsairs with Disruption Web to protect the cannons from like attacking Dragoons.
I should have made another observer instead of a reaver. Because I was like, I can't move this observer across the map, but I really want to see like if he's expanded and all that.
I know, yeah. Like, I'm trying to do everything other than expand. Like, my Templar Archives is just now coming out. I'm super behind on everything, so yeah.
Everything other than expand. Typical Protoss.
I like how you sent your probe all the way across the map here.
Yeah, I'm like, he's definitely sneaking an expansion somewhere. Like he
know.
must be.
I mean, I should have just like not tried to build anything other than just like cannons in a corner somewhere.
Yeah, you gotta be consistent with your brand.
True. No matter what time
Where's
of the
the
game
Reaver?
it is, I will cannon rush. Yeah,
Reaver
and then the Reaver
shots.
goes out, I'm just
40
like,
minutes into it.
And you make another pylon.
I mean,
No.
Thank
yeah.
God. Oh.
It's
Didn't even give
very
me the pleasure of killing it.
Very unfortunate. Like at this point, yeah, I think it is just you can walk across the map and kill him. I don't think we need to. I do try to attack. I'm like, maybe if I surprise him in like the middle of the map while he's on a move command, I'll be able to kill a bunch of free Dragoons.
Yeah.
Because I got
Try.
Speed Zealots. I was like, Speed Zealots do a lot of damage. I just need to It's like, there's the dragoons.
Yeah,
We just need to.
And I'm
get
like
this-
not paying attention, I guess, because
I
I
know.
just like let the flank happen.
Right? Like I catch a dragoon. It's something. But then like you have 2 dragoons in your base and then like zealots get completely shredded.
Well, 2 reavers.
2 reavers in the base.
Yeah, and I'm getting a shuttle. I'm like, this should. But after I saw that army, I was like, that I should be able to just walk over it now.
Yep.
But it's so hard to tell when an opponent does some really unorthodox build, like where their econ is at. Because you're just so not used to it. You're like, is he sacrificing like 20% of his econ to do the cheese, or what?
Right.
Anyways.
So
I mean, it was like 3 pylons and 3 cannons, so that's like the 3 cannons, 450 minerals, and then the 3 pylons, another 300 minerals. It's like